So I'm studying all this stuff with yoga. I'm getting certified as a yoga instructor so I can do the somatic healing certification as well. And the whole first part has been really amazing, like totally off the mat and really integrating a lot of stuff that I've learned in so many different spaces. But one of the things that I was just reading was about the simplest way to reduce distractions is to focus our awareness on one particular thing. And it also is bringing up the importance of gratitude. And this has been integrated in a lot of the work that I've been doing lately, really having an attitude of gratitude, because when we're in that space, it's really hard to be upset and angry and scared at the same time. So when we focus on what we're grateful for, that can be super helpful. It's also talking about here other ways that you can bring your focus and awareness to one particular thing, your breath. So this is something that I learned in the breath work, is bringing just your awareness to the breath. That was one of the first things that we did when I was training. And at first it seems like, what the heck, what am I doing? But there's a stillness that happens in that. It brings us to the present moment. And then integrating that a little bit further in the breath work is, if I can start to be aware of my breath and notice what's happening, then I can actually start to shift my breath, which actually controls my whole nervous system. So another thing here is concentration on subtle sense perception. So what this would be is focusing on different senses that you have. So there's an exercise that I often lead my clients with, is like, what's 5 things that you can hear, 5 things that you can see, 5 things that you can feel on your skin, 5, if you can taste 5 things, that's kind of tough, but you can put something in your mouth and pay attention to the way that that feels and tastes in your mouth. You can do smell as well. So leading into all these things that really help to calm our mind and body, decreasing stress and anxiety. If we're going through something traumatic, sometimes the brain just does that anyway. But I want to lend this to you. It's really powerful, and it's so interesting that this first part of training in the yoga is all this like powerful spiritual psychological stuff that is just so profound. And I'm learning that like that's the basis of yoga, which is so cool. It's about your breath. It's learning about to quiet the mind and be present. And I want to tell you, when I first started in this journey of healing myself, the wounded healer, the idea of quieting my mind seemed impossible. In fact, being on the yoga mat and trying to hold poses while my brain is like thinking about all these things, or looking at other people's bodies and comparing myself, oh, I know you do it too. Learning to go within, and that's part of the practice. And I don't think I knew that. Like a huge piece of it, I thought it was just about stretching, about, I had a pain in my back or in my muscles and doing that, but it's actually so much more. And there's so much that you can gain. So if you're doing yoga, if you want to aim to try it, I did notice a long time ago that the more quiet my brain was, the more I could really hold a pose, which is really interesting. So when you're focused on bring this muscle up here and stretch this way and turn this way, it's a pretty powerful piece here. So I'm really excited to learn more. I'll be sharing more as I go through this. There's a bunch of other stuff here I'll continue to share, but just lending to part of anxiety and stress is like thinking of all the ways that we want to control and change things in our life. And I don't know about you, but what I would do is I would go through, 20 different million ways that I could maybe handle something or try to control something in some way, most of which was just lost time and energy, and also like icky feelings in my body, causing dis-ease in my body, causing pain, causing nausea and tummy aches and heart palpitations and sweating, because your body doesn't know the difference between a thought and reality. So if you're running through different conversations that you're going to have with somebody, or how things are going to go wrong, or how you're going to protect yourself and your children, and which, don't get me wrong, sometimes we have to plan those things, but I'm talking like the mulling it over and over and over. And if you struggle with anxiety, I know you know what I'm talking about, because it's just as like we marinate in it, and that place sucks. It sucks so bad. And so I'm on here doing this with you, learning more and more stuff, because I want to help you break free from that, because it's so awesome to not live in that space. Oh my gosh. And don't get me wrong, sometimes I get pulled back in, and I gotta start from scratch sometimes, baby steps of doing the things to get myself out of that. But I want you to know that you're not alone, and there's a way out. And if you go to take a yoga class, or you do it online, it's not just about the stretching. Yes, it's important to create the strength and the movement and the stretching in your body, but it's actually about the breath, and it's actually about quieting the mind. That's at the base of it, because that is at the base of the stress and the anxiety. All right, I'm signing off. I'll bring on more stuff to help you. And if you don't know me, I'm Elizabeth Capoletti. I'm a mental health expert, licensed marriage and family therapist. I specialize in integrative and holistic medicine. I'm always training, always learning, always growing to bring you, myself, the world, more modalities to help you on your healing journey. You can find me at elevatewithelizabeth.info. I've got some really cool stuff that I've created for you, and please subscribe so you can watch more of these videos, and feel free to peruse through some of the other ones that I have too. See you later.